Good morning, good evening, and welcome to Fridays with Narelle. Today's first session on Zoom using the webinar format. So hopefully we figure it out and it's all good. But I've got some excellent information to share with you today about fulvic acids. So what I'm going to do is get straight into sharing my presentation with you, but unfortunately, I can't take any questions that I know of during the presentation. So I'll go through the presentation and then we'll open it up for chat at the end. So see you shortly. All right. So hopefully this is working nicely. Sarah, if it stuffs up, let me know, send me a text and we'll try and figure it out. But yeah, today's session is giving you the background and some more in-depth information about fulvic acids and what are they. And really, the more I learn about this substance, the more in awe of it I am. At what an amazing substance, and that really everyone on the planet should be taking this stuff. So what we're covering today is what are fulvic acids, where do they come from, why have they disappeared from our food chain, from our food supply, what are they actually good for, what do they do for us, and what's the best way of getting them now. So what are fulvic acids? Fulvic acids are actually the substance that make soil black, and they're the substance that colour natural water systems, natural river systems. They are part of the structure of healthy soils, and they are formed by the only two biochemical processes that are done in nature that man has not figured out how to duplicate or replicate, and that is photosynthesis. So the storage or the conversion of sunlight into physical matter, into carbohydrates, so basically the storage of sunlight and the breaking down of that physical carbohydrate, of that physical substance by bacteria are the two chemical processes that mankind has not figured out how to duplicate. So they are truly one of a kind substances that we cannot create, we cannot synthesize, and they are created by microbes, bacteria, breaking down the organic molecules that have been converted from sunlight in our soil. So what fulvic acids are these incredibly complex substances in our soil and our water that are actually, they are incredibly complex but very, very simple, very, very small molecules that are created from the breakdown of what's the word? It's photosynthesis, and humification is the breaking down of organic matter. So the natural organic matter is broken down by bacteria, and so these humic substances, the fulvic acids, humic substances are what creates healthy soil. So the humic substances are actually the compounds that enable plants to extract the minerals and the nutrients from the soil, these humic substances. And the fulvic acids are a very small subset. They're very small molecular weight humic substances. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is that they are incredible molecules that we have not figured out how to create. That it's only done in nature, and so just that fact alone means that they're pretty amazing. If it's something we, mankind, in all of our wisdom, haven't been able to figure out how to duplicate, how to replicate, how to synthesize, they must be something pretty special that needs to be studied more. And in fact, there have been many, many decades of study into fulvic acids. And interestingly, science still does not understand what it is. Fulvic acids have never been fully characterized. They've never been defined. We don't actually know what they are. They are not actually one particular substance, and we don't actually know how they work. So yeah, they really are a miracle of nature. So what they do in nature is that they transform inorganic minerals and metals into a form that is biochemically active and readily usable by plants, animals, and humans. So fulvic acids are actually the element that makes nutrients absorbable. So, but they basically encapsulate metallic minerals and inorganic minerals that plants and animals can't actually metabolize, and they actually create an organic mineral complex that actually makes these metals and minerals absorbable and usable. Okay, but they're not just mineral carriers. They do a lot more than just transform minerals into a usable form by organic animals and plants. They also function as electrolytes, and we're going to learn why electrolytes are so incredibly important to the human organism. They also function as enzymes, antioxidants, antibiotics, and detoxifiers, all critical components of healthy humans. So the main thing that they do is that they increase cellular permeability. Okay, so they actually help our cells increase nutrient absorption. So they help our cells absorb the nutrients from the extracellular matrix. All the stuff that we ingest, we eat, gets converted and broken down into smaller and smaller molecules. Okay, but we actually, the critical factor is whether those nutrients can actually get into our cells and be utilized as energy. Okay, so be converted into energy as fuel. Okay, so it's actually fulvic acids that increase cellular permeability and enable those nutrients to cross the membrane of our cells, and they actually are small enough to get into the mitochondria of our cells, which are the engine. It's the motor of our cells where all of the energy is produced. So not only are fulvic acids incredibly complex, they are created from biochemical reactions that mankind has not figured out how to replicate. They are small enough to be absorbed into the engine room of every one of our cells. Kind of shows me that they are pretty critical, pretty important to human health and well-being. So not only do they enable us to absorb the nutrients into our cells and convert that fuel into energy. They also speed up reactions, so they act as catalysts. They speed up metabolic reactions. They scavenge free radicals. They are huge, massive free radical antioxidants. So they scavenge free radicals. They deactivate pesticides. So they not only do they transform inorganic minerals to something that's usable, they also transform toxic metals and toxic pesticides into an organic compound that our body actually can do something with. Our body can actually detoxify those toxic compounds, the toxic metals, the metallic minerals, and the pesticides, and toxic heavy metals, and also radioactive compounds. So, in fact, our supplier is working with the Japanese government regarding Fukushima and helping deactivate the toxins, the radioactive compounds in Fukushima. So, yeah, they are pretty incredible substances. So, just going into a little bit more information about the capacity of fulvic acids as electrolytes. And in fact, fulvic acids are one of the most powerful natural electrolytes known to man. And electrolytes are important because they are what your cells use to maintain voltage across the cell membranes, okay? And it's actually how our cells communicate through electrical impulses, okay? So cells are like miniature batteries. Their membranes, so the external part of the cell, store and discharge energy. So fulvic acids actually act like battery chargers. They revitalize the cells. They increase cellular permeability by charging the cell membranes for maximum absorption of vitamins, minerals, and other nutritional components. So it's this electric energy that is so critical to our cells' health and well-being, and it's how our cells communicate with each other. So it has been said that the cellular electrical energy is actually our life force of the body. So when the electrical energy is reduced in cells, they decay and die. And interestingly, have a guess, cancer cells. Okay, have a guess whether you think cancer cells are highly charged or are very low voltage across their membranes. Okay, you've probably guessed right. Cancer cells have a very low voltage across their membranes, so they are very low energy. So fulvic acid charges. Healthy cells have lots of electrical energy. So this is a critical key component of, if nothing else, I mean, that there are so many amazing attributes for fulvic acid. Electrolytes, being a supercharged electrolyte, is just one of them. But yeah, if there was one supplement that I could recommend everyone take, it would be fulvic acids, because it just does so many amazing things for the body. So electrolytes, it's a supercharged electrolyte, regenerates the cellular battery. So as Dr. Robert Picard, you can see in this quote on this presentation here, every biological process is also an electric process, and health and sickness are related to the bioelectric currents in our body. So a substance that increases the bioelectricity of our body has got to be a good thing. Okay, some other amazing attributes of fulvic acid. It is a chelator, which I've already mentioned. A chelator basically transforms metallic minerals into bioavailable organic compounds for use by the body, and it also binds to toxic pollutants so they can be eliminated as waste. So there's good metals and bad metals, good metallic minerals and toxic heavy metals. So the fulvic acids transform both of them. If it's a good one, transforms them into a substance that the body can actually utilize, that healthy metallic mineral, as opposed to the toxic metal compounds, the heavy metal compounds. It transforms those as well, but not so we can use them, so we can eliminate them as waste. Okay, that's what chelating does. Awesome attribute of fulvic acid. Fulvic acid is also a potentiator. It potentiates, which it multiplies the effects, increases the bioavailability of substances that you take it with. So vitamins, herbs, minerals, tinctures, food. Basically, if you want to increase the efficacy, increase the absorption of the substances, of any of the supplements that you're taking, add fulvic acids to the mix. Okay, it's what I do every day. In fact, my water is now fulvic acid supercharged. So basically, whatever I'm having during the day, I'm having it with the fulvic acids. Okay, they are also a carrier, a nutrient delivery system. So these fulvic acid, the fulvic acid mineral complexes, so it's an organic mineral complex, they readily pass through the cell wall, enhancing nutrient absorption and assimilation. And the fulvic acid can transport many times its own weight in dissolved minerals and elements. So yeah, it's basically an incredible carrier that carries nutrients into your cells, and it's still small enough to get through the membrane and into the mitochondria of the cell. So it truly is a nutrient carrier into the cells. And also, once it's inside the cell, as you can imagine, okay, so your cell, the mitochondria is the engine room of your cell. It's where the energy is created, but you need fuel. So just imagine putting a log on a fire. When a fire burns, the log is the fuel. The log, as the fire burns, that's the energy. The energy coming off is the fire, but there's also waste product. So the waste product of energy production, which is the ash in the example of the fire, that also happens in our cells. Okay, so there is ash that is produced as a byproduct of energy production in our cells that, guess what? Fulvic acid actually helps to make complexes out of that, because there's still some usable byproducts in that ash. So the fulvic acid actually recycles the used up cellular debris, so you can utilize it again. Or the good parts of the ash, it actually recycles, so your body can utilize it. So it's getting more bang for its buck in terms of energy, which is why you feel energized when you take fulvic acid, because you're getting more bang for your buck out of the food that you are ingesting. So, but it also, so not only does it recycle nutrients, it also helps to eliminate, detoxify that, or the ash that the body can no longer use. What happens when that builds up? If that builds up and the body cannot get rid of it, or the cell, it's not eliminated from the cell, it will eventually clog up and kill the cell. So what fulvic acids do is it recycles the good nutrients left over, but it also, once there's no more goodness to be taken out of the ash, it will actually carry that ash out of the body, form a complex, a natural organic complex for those toxins, for the leftover remnants, and carry them out of the body, releasing them, and then the body just releases them as it normally does, through your sweat, through your urine, through your feces, through your skin, through your breath. So, awesome stuff, huh? So studies, let's have a look at some studies on fulvic acid. So these are, and if you download the fulvic acid fact sheet, I have a list of all of the actual medical studies that these claims have been taken from. So these are what science is telling us fulvic acids are awesome for. Reduces the recovery period of injured muscles and bones. Helps in the absorption of iron into the body. So we know this already because remember we talked about metallic minerals. Iron is a metallic element, so it forms an organic complex with the iron, and it increases the absorption. Okay, so it helps in the absorption of iron in the body. It enhances the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. It acts as an anti-stress, anti-anxiety, anti-epileptic, and adaptogenic agent, which means adaptogenic just means it helps you adapt to the needs of your body at that moment in time. It's also useful in the treatment of insomnia. It's beneficial in rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and gout. As you can imagine, we've already talked about it forming mineral complexes for toxins. Okay, so osteoarthritis and gout are basically a buildup of toxic crystalline minerals in your fingers and toes and your joints. So fulvic acid naturally would form a complex of these unwanted minerals that are building up and allow the body to eliminate them. That's why that would be beneficial. It also is an anti-allergy. So it's against, basically, which is going to be the forming the complexes to toxins. So it helps to rid your body of things that create a histamine response, an allergic response in your body. It stimulates blood formation and energy production. We already know about the energy component of fulvic acids. Increases the electrical potential of your cells, and increases the nutrient absorbability of your cells, and it recycles the nutrients. So yeah, you're going to get more energy out of what you're ingesting. More dissolving kidney stones, so more complexing, forming mineral complexes and helping remove crystalline mineral complexes out of your body. Highly active against oral bacteria and possesses strong anti-inflammatory activity. So as an antioxidant, it's also going to reduce inflammation because free radicals cause inflammation. So as any antioxidant is going to reduce inflammation. It also can be used topically, and I'm playing with topical fulvic acid products at the moment, but yeah, certainly you could add it if you wanted to. If you had a really bad case of eczema or psoriasis, I would recommend adding it to your body cream or just swabbing it with a cotton wool pad on your affected areas. Enhances sperm production. Hey, so basically just generally makes you healthier, and it reverses the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome. So they are just a very small subset. There were heaps more that I could have listed. So that's a small subset of the benefits that have been studied for fulvic acids. So, I mean, you kind of get the picture why we need fulvic acids, but actually the human diet used to have ample amounts of these substances. Okay, but unfortunately, this is no longer the case. So you already know it's formed by the bacterial degradation of natural organic matter in the soil. So it's a very unique substance. So when in the olden days, when we used to get food from healthy soils, right, natural healthy soils that have, and in fact, studies have shown it takes about 900 to 1,000 years to create fulvic acid. So it's not just chucking your veggies on the compost pile and letting the bacteria. It actually takes a long time, because it's a repeated cycle of humification, like the bacterial degradation of the natural organic matter, and it has to happen over many generations. So it's not a short process. It doesn't happen in a few weeks. This is a 1,000-year process, the production of the creation of fulvic acids in our soils. So but unfortunately, current practices in agriculture and wastewater have removed fulvic acids from the diet. So the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides prohibit the healthy microbial activity that is essential for the formation of fulvic acids. So it's anything that basically kills the bacteria in our soil is going to stop the fulvic acid production. And the natural waterways, so we used to have plenty of it because we used to eat straight from healthy soil, and we used to drink from healthy streams, healthy waterways, healthy rivers. But the way we get our water these days is that because the natural organic matter, the fulvic acids, which are part of the natural organic matter in healthy streams and rivers, when they add chlorine, because chlorine, it's actually treated, the fulvic acids or the natural organic matter in our streams and healthy rivers are treated as a pollutant. They're treated as an impurity because part of the treatment process, the wastewater management and the treatment process of our waterways, of our water system, is to use chlorine compounds as an antibacterial. Okay, and chlorine compounds, reacting with natural organic matter, create organochlorines, which are very toxic compounds. So these organochlorines, basically that's why they filter out the natural organic matter out of our waterways, because chlorine, when they add chlorine, because they have to use chlorine, they don't, but anyway, they because they use chlorine, these toxic compounds are produced if there are any natural organic matter compounds in the water. So therefore, the extremely healthy and highly beneficial fulvic acids, which are a part of the natural organic matter in healthy water, are filtered out as impurities. Okay? So it's not because fulvic acids are dangerous, it's not because fulvic acids are toxic that you can't mix them with chlorinated water. It's because chlorine is toxic, and when it's combined with the wonderful fulvic acids, it forms carcinogens. Okay, so that's the only reason why you must not mix fulvic acids with water that has been chlorinated. Okay, so you get the picture why our soil is so low in fulvic acids now, because of the fertilizers and the pesticides and the herbicides that kills the healthy microbial activity of our soil, which then stops dead the fulvic acid creation. And so we're not getting fulvic acids from our food anymore, and we're certainly not getting it from our water. So this is why when the guys that I get this from, there are only two seams of its kind on the planet. So basically, okay, so you know that the fulvic acids are produced from natural organic matter and microbial decomposition. So basically, peat or peat bogs, or all the way through to coal. Okay, so you know that coal is natural organic matter. So somewhere in between peat, which is on the surface and very wet, and coal, which is very deep in the earth and very dry and hard, somewhere in the middle is stuff called lenidite. Okay, oxidized lignite, which is a type of shale, and there's two seams. There's two of these lenidite seams in the earth, in the world. One is in northwestern Canada, and the other is in southeastern Australia. Okay, so the guys that are extracting the fulvic acids from these two seams in the world actually came to me a little while ago and said, we have this amazing product, and we see that you do some pretty cool things, and we think that you would appreciate the quality of our product. And what I've been learning since then, because I've basically put them through the ringer in terms of, because there's lots of competitors in the marketplace. If you Google fulvic acids, there's plenty of fulvic acid competitors out there. But basically what separates our product from the rest is the there's a few things that separate our products from the rest. Number one is that the type of the seam, the source material, the earth material that is the source of the fulvic acids. So with these ones, it's only those two seams on the planet that are actually this particular shale, this particular lenidite. And then the other one is the way they extract it, the way they extract it from the earth. So how it's normally done is it's extracted using chemicals, high alkaline and high acid chemical compounds, which results in an extremely low concentration of fulvic acids. We're talking 0.01, 0.03%, very, very low, regardless of the claim. Okay, so that's a whole other webinar. We'll be talking about competitors and the quality difference between ours and the rest. But just very briefly, the quality of the original source material and the way it's extracted. So the way it's generally extracted is chemicals or water, just a very simple water extraction. But this unfortunately results in a very, very low concentration of actual fulvic acids. Regardless of the claim, regardless of, you'll see competitors claiming 10%, 20%, 30%, 100% fulvic acids. It's not actually the case. And the other thing that makes our guys incredibly unique is that they have actually created, they have devised a fourfold system, a fourfold testing system to actually ascertain the actual fulvic acid level in the end product. So the quantity, the quality and the quantity of the fulvic acids. So using this fourfold test, and that's another webinar, we've been able to test a whole bunch of competitors, and I can tell you that regardless of the claim of whatever the claim is, whether it be 10, 20, 30 or 100%, none of them have even got close to matching what their claim is. In fact, we're talking, claims that are 30% are actually 0.013%. Right, so we're talking, much, much less in actual fulvic acids than they're claiming. But unfortunately, like so many other things in the marketplace, there is no agreed upon method and there's no actual standard for fulvic acids. Hence why our suppliers have actually devised a 4-fold test for testing for the fulvic acid substance. But yeah, I'll go into that on another day. So needless to say, I'm extremely confident and comfortable and excited about the quality of this product. It is a dark black liquid, and you squeeze it into your water, it turns your water black, but you cannot taste it. It's like drinking. It's like drinking from a pure water stream. You don't taste anything, but you get the benefits of the amazing benefits of these naturally extracted fulvic acids. Oh, and I forgot to mention, they actually extract by molecular weight, okay, which is what differentiates my guys from every other competitor around the world. So they don't do chemical extraction, they don't do water extraction, they actually do a molecular weight extraction, which is a patented process to them and them alone. They have created this process. So I mentioned before that fulvic acids are a very small molecular weight humic substance, which are these natural organic matter substances. So the fulvic acids, unlike humic acids are very, very large molecules. The fulvic acids are very, very small molecules, which is why my guys extract them by molecular weight only. So you're getting exactly what they claim as the percentage of fulvic acid, which in our case, 30,000 parts per million, which is 3% fulvic acids. And the dosage is about 8 milliliters per day, which is a little bit over a teaspoon. You put that in your water and you're done. And we've had some fantastic feedback so far. We've had psoriasis, long-term psoriasis clear up within a week. So yeah, and some pretty intense detox reactions as well. So yeah, don't expect you can start taking this and feel nothing. You will probably feel something, and it may make you feel a bit less than amazing first up for the first couple of weeks while your body gets into the process of detoxifying the pollutants and heavy metals in your system. But the ongoing benefit is that you're going to have a stronger immune system. You're going to have more energy. You're going to have a stimulated metabolism, highly energized cells, happy cells that can absorb the nutrients from the food that you're eating, and better blood formation. It's all good stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited to have this product in our arsenal now. Oh, I already said this stuff. Yep. All that. That's it. So how do we just stop sharing? Are we there? You there? Okay, now can we have, I'll see if I can unmute all and see if there's any questions. Can anyone, if you want to talk, give it a go and I'll see if I can hear you. Just say something, so just say hello.
This is just me, Narelle.
Yep,
hello everybody else.
But I can't see anyone else.
No, I can't see anybody else. Maybe they haven't got their video. Maybe they're not sharing their video.